try to fatten our pockets. Us against hustle for the cash, so it's hard to knock it. Everybody got their own thing, currency chasing. Worldwide through the hard times, worrying faces. Shed tears as we bury them, sitting close to heart. What was a friend, now a ghost in the dark. Cold part about it, getting got smoked by a fiend. Trying to floss on them, blind to a broken man's dream. A hard lesson, court cases keep them guessing. Plea bargain ain't an option now, so I'm stressing. Cost me more to be free than a life in the pen. Making money off of cuss words, writing again. Learn how to think ahead, so I fight with my pen. Late night down, sunset, like in the sin. What's the worst they can do to a nigga? Got me lost in hell to live and die in LA. On bail, my angels.
KBLA Talk 1580. Rest in peace, Pac. All right, so like I said, it was meant to be a messy Monday, but we're going to do messy politics instead. Fresh off of a whole week at the DNC, along with my colleagues, Tavis Smiley, Ariva Martin, Dr. Nicolai Corte, Adrian Shropshire. We were doing the doggone thing. We might not have the big fancy crews and trucks and this and that, but we made it work and did our best to bring you content that you couldn't get anywhere else. And we'll continue to do so. So I get home, right? I get home after I'm very tired. I don't know if you can tell my eyes are puffy. I was going around the clock. We all were. And I get home after streaming live on Instagram and doing everything I could to bring you behind the scenes. And I go to post some more of my pictures on Instagram, and I have, your account has the potential to reach many people, so Meta offers advanced protection to help keep it secure. You must set up two-factor authentication, blah, 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 blah. So I followed all their little steps, and they still won't let me in. So if you don't see my pictures up, it's because Mark Zuckerberg don't want you to see them. I think it's so hilarious that they decided I suddenly need security after I was streaming from the DNC behind the scenes and whatnot. Hopefully you can still see it. Can they still see it, Miles? Hopefully they can still see it. I can't get into my account. I was trying all night last night. I did the two-factor authentication. Every password I hit, they told me it was wrong. And so I'm locked out at the moment. And it says that if I don't do it in the next few days, I'm going to be locked out. I guess indefinitely, because right now it's not letting me in anyway. So anyway, that's interesting. So yay, I hope I do have the potential to reach many people. Look, thinking about what James Farr said and what Shayon said, they have a fair point in the fact that reviewing the speech that Kamala Harris made, there is no direct reference to what she will do for Black America, right? There is no direct that head nod that James was looking for to the Black man or the Black woman, other than her whole being, other than herself. But to that point, and I think it's a fair point, but I think you have to look at what comes in the weeks ahead too, because the DNC speech, that televised primetime, what we're calling an infomercial, which I think is also fair because this is 4 days of free media for each party. The Republicans had their 4 days and the Dems get theirs. They're going to use the glossy, flossy Hope Love Festival because that's for the general consumption. That's for the whole public, right? And it's introducing Vice President Kamala Harris to the nation as a potential president. For those who know her name but don't know her accomplishments, for those very online who have repeated talking points without looking into it to see if it's really true, as D.L. Hughley so effectively outlined in his speech. Hey, we even had a KBLA air talent on the stage as a speaker. Not every radio station can say that. Of course, you know D.L. Hughley comes on this station every afternoon. But his point about people taking these online slogans, talking points, memes, and running with them without doing the research was a good one. And so you've got to think this DNC speech is that. It's for the under information, the low information voter who doesn't really know anything other than the name Kamala Harris and may or may not be able to pronounce it. I think the signs of the blackness outside of the speech were definitely there. Her niece, and I think the other one was her great niece or her niece. Those two young girls getting up on the stage and teaching folks how to say her name. Certainly the omnipresence of the AKAs and AKA gear everywhere, which reminds us that when you elect Kamala Harris, it's not just Kamala Harris that you get all these women that come with her, right? Her sorority sisters, her HBCU compatriots, both male and female. The California delegation, which, as I said, I was proud to be a Californian. Yeah, I see y'all had to stick this LA on my 49ers jersey, but really there was an incredible sense of unity within the state, Northern and Southern California. And I told you how the Southern California black women just really lifted me up because I was out there, trying to do what the big dogs do without big dog resources. And it was Councilmember Heather Hutt and Supervisor Holly Mitchell and Congresswoman Cindy Kamlager and Senator Lola Smallwood Cuevas and did I mention Councilmember Heather Hutt? And also, not a woman, obviously, but Council President Marquise Harris Dawson. I felt very, very supported and very included by our California delegation. They're saying, KBLA is our voice. Black media, hometown perspective has to be at the table, and that was amazing. As I mentioned, you saw black media more front and center at this convention than I had seen previously, but it's still always what? You want the unapologetically progressive, black-owned station. You want them at the table? Yeah, we gonna be at the table too. So much love to our black lawmakers, especially, as I said, Councilmember Heather Hutt and Supervisor Holly Mitchell for making sure that happened. I think there was a sense of unity among us too, in terms of the political challenges that we have in the next 70 something days, whatever it is, 71, 72, that when I say they about to find out black women from California don't play, black people from California don't play, California love is a real thing, there was a palpable sense of that. So you saw people, if you watched the convention, you saw a lot of our lawmakers. Let me not forget Congresswoman Maxine Waters, who was a rock star through the whole convention. You saw them seated front and center in the during the convention. The California delegation is down front. We are the orchestra seats, right in front of the stage. It's a huge section of seats. That's all California. And as they're cutting away, you're seeing a lot of familiar faces if you follow California politics. Well, those same familiar faces are showing up at caucuses and having panel discussions and going to events where they are networking with each other and planning strategically, what do we need to accomplish over the next 70 days in order to elect Kamala Harris at the top of the ticket, but not just elect her, elect people all the way down the ballot, look at some of these other crucial races that we're faced with. From the polling that I've seen here in LA, the district attorney's race may be very challenging, but that doesn't mean we give up. We worked really hard to elect a progressive prosecutor. We worked really hard to change some of the laws that have contributed to the very disparities that are outlined in the reparations report for the city of Los Angeles that I was just talking about. So those conversations were going on, and the other piece that is definitely happening, was happening I say is because I know it's happening now post-convention, when a lot of us feel like we've had 12 cups of coffee just from being in that space, right? With progressive lawmakers and activists and black people and others. There were so many indigenous Americans there. I thought maybe it's because, if Tim Walz is elected, we get our first indigenous governor. But I'm not sure what it is. That is a fact. That will happen in Minnesota because the lieutenant governor will be elevated to governor. I don't know, but I saw lots of indigenous Americans rolling in traditional gear. There are many conversations taking place about accountability. We elect Harris Walz, and then how do we not make the mistake we made under Obama, where we worked so hard to get him elected and then said, okay, our work here is done, and went back to our lives and our light bills and our kids and our homework and our how do we do it differently this time so that when we elect a Harris Walz ticket, we follow up on the policy prescriptions that we want to see, not only the ideas per se that were discussed or the policy outlines that have been given, but the actual laws, the actual executive orders, the things that can and must happen as a result of this. I know a lot of people got disillusioned and cynical because the things they hoped to see manifest under Obama, who we knew was a moderate when we elected him, and then we failed to push him to the left. The people being disappointed. Well, if we elect Harris and Walz and don't get stuff done, the cynicism may be incurable. So I think people are clear on that. And, everyone's talking about a sugar high and a love fest. Yeah, it was a love fest, and nothing wrong with that. The happy warrior thing is nice. It's a nice change. We don't have to be depressed and doom and gloom to get stuff done. But everyone resonated with what forever First Lady Michelle Obama said, which was, do something. Don't wait to be asked. Do not wait to be invited. You are being drafted. You are being mandated. You are being compelled, not just by Michelle Obama or Dominique DiPrima, but by your doggone ancestors and your children's children's children. So that's where we are. Love to hear from you. 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. What are you going to do? What are you planning to do? I know it's not just complain. I know it's not just undermine. I know it's not just, she's not the perfect candidate. She's not the... Well, she's an excellent candidate, right? And if you're lining up behind Weston Obama, Weston Obama, that would be quite a ticket. Weston Abdullah, then do that. But do something. Complain ain't it. Do something. Knock on some doors. Get people out down ballot. All the voters that are going to come out to vote for Weston Abdullah, who may not have come out otherwise, are going to be crucial for races like LA's district attorney's race and some of these statewide measures that are going to be so important for our quality of life and our momentum. I'm with Mrs. Obama. Do something. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power. Tavis is like George and Wheezy. He's moving on up. Last year, Tavis was number 45 on the Talkers Magazine list of the 100 most important radio talk show hosts in America. Wait for it. The 2024 list was recently released, and Tavis has jumped to number 33 on the list of the nation's most important talkers, making him the highest-ranked African-American on the coveted roster. Congratulations to Tavis Smiley from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580. We've got you black.
What if the conversation about menopause and bladder leaks didn't have to be a secret? Always Discreet helps you embrace this new chapter with confidence, offering a bladder leak solution that keeps you worry-free. Its rapid dry cord quickly locks away even the biggest gushes with up to 0 leaks, 0 wet feel, and 0 odor, so you can jump, dance, sneeze, and laugh uninterrupted. Everyday protection for every level of leak. We've got you, always. Try Always Discreet today.
Lowe's knows saving pros time and money means getting the job done easier. Right now, get up to 50% off select composite decking and railing. Plus, get an extra 5% off every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. 5% off or subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/DC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
Support comes from Getty, presenting Memnon, a world premiere theatrical event under the stars. Memnon tells the tale of a powerful Ethiopian king who fights alongside Troy during the city's darkest hour. This epic Greek myth has been overlooked for over a millennium. Until now. Memnon is co-produced by the Classical Theater of Harlem. Thursdays through Saturdays this September at the Getty Villa Museum. Tickets are available now at getty.edu.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
And by the way, when you talk about the Democratic National Convention, which I just spent the last week at, and I do have a lot of things I want to share with you, just my impressions, my insights. If you want to argue with me, if you got a question, please call me, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. I feel like the symbolism was important too. Right? A lot of the things that the Democrats chose to put up there were head nods and symbols to you. But as I said, let's see what she has to say in the weeks ahead. I felt like the speech was masterful. I want to go to this, though, because we were just talking about reparations, the Reparations Commission. I got a phone full of interviews. There's so many I haven't played for you. Can't wait to share some of the stuff. But you may remember Attorney Demario Solomon Simmons. He's been on the air here before, an attorney representing the survivors of the Tulsa Race Massacre. And he was there at the DNC, politicking, having conversations. And let me tell you, when we speak of reparations, there was plenty of reparations talk happening behind the scenes. It wasn't happening on the stage. But for me, the fact that Kamala Harris supported the Senate version of H.R. 40 when she was a U.S. Senator, to me, that should be enough reassurance for reparationists to vote for her. We have never, ever had a presidential candidate who supported reparations. Of course, Jesse Jackson, but I'm talking about major party ticket, in the final two. And you notice Trump is already trying to wiggle out of this doggone debate, which is supposed to be happening in a couple weeks. It's actually like less than a couple weeks. Anyway, check out this little mini convo. They're all conversations on the run. You have to grab people, pull them to the side, and get them while you can. But this conversation with Demario Solomon Simmons. We are inside the United Center, and I am privileged to be talking with attorney Mario Solomon Simmons. And what is your purpose here? I see you're doing, actually, at the DNC, a panel discussion. What are you hoping to accomplish, and tell me about what it is?
Well, first of all, I'm so excited to be here with this energy as we see our next president, Kamala Harris, become the first African-American female president of the United States. I'm so excited to be here, and we're also here to continue to push for justice and reparations for my survivors of the Tulsa Race Massacre and racial justice. And so, as you said, tomorrow we actually have a panel, and we're going to be talking about the Department of Justice to open a criminal investigation to the Tulsa Race Massacre.
So are you hopeful that that can actually happen, a criminal investigation? There's been so much talk in the context of the DNC that Democrats do not want to say or hear the word reparations right now.
I actually think this is something that can happen because, remember, President Biden is still the president, and he doesn't have anything to lose. And we're not asking for President Biden and the DOJ to give us reparations. We're asking them to utilize the Emmett Till Cold Case Act, which was signed in 2008 by President Bush. It was reauthorized and signed by President Obama in 2016. We want them to utilize that act to open the very first ever criminal investigation into the Tulsa Race Massacre. The Tulsa Race Massacre of 1921 is the largest crime scene in the history of this country. Over 37 blocks were destroyed. Over 10,000 people were made homeless. Over 3,000 people were actually disappeared. And there's never, ever been a criminal investigation. So this is something that should have happened 103 years ago. It can happen, and we believe it will happen.
And what do you hope to come out of that?
Well, for number one, we still only know 10% of what happened during the massacre. We don't even know all the victims, but more importantly, we don't know all the perpetrators. We don't know everything that was taken, everything was stolen. We believe that that will open up and give accountability. It would say to America that if something happens as big as the race massacre, it will be held accountable. That says to every American that, yes, if something happens on racial justice front, we can trust that the federal government would do all it can with all its power to make sure there will be justice.
And if we say Donald Trump isn't above the law, no one should be above the law, right?
Well, no one should be above the law, and that's why we must have Kamala Harris, Vice President Harris elected, because we know that former President Trump will not do anything to move forward racial justice, criminal justice reform, housing equity, any of the things that we're all passionate about, trying to make this a better country for everyone. That can only happen if President Kamala Harris and future Vice President Tim Walz is actually elected.
So you're not concerned about whether they say reparations out loud at this convention or on the platform. You're not concerned about that. You feel like they're the right candidates, the right legislators, should they be elected, for this issue.
Listen, I would love for them to say specifically reparations, because reparations just means repair, and I think they should be trying to repair all the harm that's been happening in this country to our people. But I also understand the assignment. I also understand why I'm going to push for reparations. I'm also, number one, want to stop Donald Trump from ever being in the presidency again, because it's not just about Donald Trump. It's about Project 2025. It's about all the racism and sexism and misogyny and downright corruption that he brings into the office. And where do I want to organize? Who do I want to continue to push to try to get justice? Would I rather try to organize under a Donald Trump administration or under a Kamala Harris administration? The answer is clear. So while I would love to see reparations as part and parcel of this convention, I also understand we must continue to do all we can to make sure we defeat Donald Trump in November.
Is Tulsa really reparations, or is it restitution? How are they related, or how are they different, or does it matter?
Well, Tulsa is the tip of the spear for the entire reparatory, restorative justice movement throughout this country. If you can get reparations in Tulsa, restoration in Tulsa, you can get it throughout this entire United States. We represent everything that they always say why you shouldn't have reparations. Well, who actually suffer? We have living survivors. Well, what actually happened? We have it on video. We have it on audio. We have it on pictures, not audio, but video and pictures, and hundreds and hundreds of witnesses who describe what happened to them. And so if we can make this happen in Tulsa, it can happen anywhere. And that's why Tulsa is a microcosm. It's something that we must win. If we cannot win when we have two living survivors, my clients, 110-year-old Leslie Bennett Viola Ford Fletcher, and 110-year-old Leslie Benefield Randall. These women are still alive. Imagine this. When they were born in 1914, they couldn't even vote, yet they're still here. They've gone through pandemics. They've gone through world wars. They've gone through the race massacre, and they're still here waiting for justice, and we must have it. It must happen. So racial justice must be at the forefront, and racial justice cannot happen in this country without comprehensive reparations.
So does that mean we have to live to be 109 to get justice? Is that what you're telling me?
I hope not, because I don't know if I have 62 more years left in me. But I'm just going to say, as long as we're going to continue to have these women there, they're the oldest civil rights activists in the nation. They're still fighting to this day, not for themselves. Why I'm so proud to represent them. They always say, hey, I'm over 100 years old. This is not really for me. This is for my children, my community, and the national black community. And that's why I want to see justice and reparations for these women, but also for our entire community. And reparations runs through Tulsa. But we first got to get Kamala Harris in office to make sure we continue to have an opportunity to fight.
Thank you so much for stopping.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Dr. Anthony Fauci, known for his high profile at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, is expected to make a full recovery after being hospitalized for the West Nile virus. He told CBS News he's out of the hospital and recuperating at home. Senator Cory Booker says the Biden administration is working to prevent escalation in the Middle East following an exchange of heavy fire between Israel and Hezbollah militants in Lebanon over the weekend. That's what the African-American New Jersey Democrat told CNN State of the Union. A free expression policy is being enacted for Rutgers University's 3 New Jersey campuses. The new protest policy requires an application for a permit to be completed 3 days prior to a protest and prohibits any encampments. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America N.A. Copyright 2024.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers continue to have the best record in Major League Baseball after Sunday's win over Tampa Bay. The Dodgers are 25 games over 500. They have a 3-game lead over Arizona in the NL West. The hard times continue for the Angels. They lost all 4 games in Toronto. The Angels will finish the season 0-7 against Toronto. The LA Sparks had a great opportunity Sunday to snap their 6-game losing streak, but they blew a 19-point lead in the fourth quarter at Dallas. The Sparks ended up losing by 3. They were outscored 40-18 in the fourth quarter. At 6-24, the Sparks have the WNBA's worst record. Florida A&M, the defending black college football national champion, held on for a 1-point win over Norfolk State. Florida A&M wins the SWAC MEAC Challenge. The annual classic between the two conferences kicks off the HBCU football season. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, man. Looks like Bobby needs a ride to the airport again.
Grab the keys. Who's taking Auntie and her friends to the swap meet?
Grab the keys. How about we drop these boxes off at Miss Johnson?
Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, you're all about getting things done. So do it all in a Chevy SUV. From the versatile Equinox and Sporty Blazer to the roomy Traverse, our lineup of SUVs will carry you through every adventure. All you have to do is...
grab the keys?
That's how we do. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse Limited models. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/24.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition Smart Bed. Limited time. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Ugh, I've been feeling so sluggish and just kind of blah. Been there. That's why I take Align yogurt-coated probiotic fruit bites. But I suppose they taste blah. Actually, they taste delicious. It's an apple blueberry flavored center covered in a yogurt coating and is infused with probiotics to help support a healthy gut. They come 5 in a pouch. I just toss one in my bag and go. Toss one in my bag? Get your own.
New Align yogurt-coated probiotic fruit bites from the makers of the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Find them in the digestive care aisle.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning hair off my bathroom floor. At least my Swiffer sweeper makes it easy. Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths have ultra-thick pads to trap and lock hairs, like a hair magnet. And when I'm finished cleaning up my hair, Sweeper takes care of his too. Now the hair's gone, all thanks to Swiffer. Try Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths. I promise you'll love them or your money back. And also try Swiffer Sweeper Wet to make quick work of tough, sticky messes.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Going down in the rinse change. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes 100% of odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the Amera I Can Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the Amera I Can program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The Amera I Can Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit AmeriCanCommunity.partners. That's AmeriCanCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Heard any other talk radio lately that sounds anything like this? I didn't think so. You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, I'm unpacking the Democratic National Convention. I'm still totally hyped from being around all those people, all that energy. And I'm going to keep sharing with you some of the stuff that I was able to gather while I was there as the week unfolds. But right now, from the city of Compton, the iconic activist Molly Bell. Good morning.
Morning. Reparations in memory of our ancestors. And God bless morning to you, Dominique, and all of the KBLA listeners. This last month, it seems, has been a whirlwind. I mean, just recently, we listened to you every day on the continent. You and Miles. Miles spoke up so beautifully. All the guests that you had, friends that I knew who were there with you. Then we turned around, and then we had the Olympics and all the black folks that were just blowing it away. And then the DNC. I'm saying that I had lost most of my joy. A lot of it has come back, but I'm still hearing the same complaints. We've had the reading of reparations and different groups starting it. And you and Dominique, you were there. You know, Mr. People. You know what we've been through. And the doctor is telling me, Molly Bell, you've got to stay home. You don't need to be out in crowds because of different things, other health challenges I have. Like I said, I'm 77 years old, but cute as a button. And so I'm saying that even today, when we looked at the DNC, I noticed that Kamala Harris did not do all the things that a lot of people thought. On some of the channels, they were saying, Dominique, because you couldn't channel surf. You were just too busy. And thank you for the interviews. People that we knew, politicians that you've talked to, everybody, they were there. So thank you. I couldn't do anything but listen to you all day long and as often as I could hear you. So for that, I'm saying thank you for that. But I'm saying that out of all the things that we had to do, Kamala did not wear white. They were saying she'll probably wear in memory of women's suffrage. She didn't wear white on that day. She wore blue, Democratic blue. She didn't bring up all the sororities, the black sororities that were there, and that she was so proud of them. She just, a lot of people didn't even know who she was. My family in Arkansas was saying, who is this lady? How she get to be nominated? So I'm saying that let's enjoy the joy. Let's get busy. I agree. Gosh, do something. Miss Obama, she was awesome. Mm-hmm. What's her name? Oprah Winfrey. Ooh, enjoy the joy. You know, I mean, and that's the way the vice president. And there were those who thought, because you've heard me talk about thieves in the temple, they thought that they were going to keep Biden around until he was forced out. And then we were going to have a fractured convention, the Democrats. And then the Republicans would have gotten in, and our lives and our world would have been changed. But there's a God. There's a God. That did not happen. When Biden left and he nominated her in his place, I don't even know what 50 billion or whatever those numbers. I don't even know what kind of money that is. I'm barely keeping up with my hundreds, a few dollars. And so I'm just saying that what you did, you talked to everybody, Dominique. I don't know when you had a chance to eat. I don't know if you're tired. You look good, but I'm one of the ones that's talking about your T-shirt. You know.
Sorry, Molly Bell. Sorry, not sorry. Niners.
Yeah, but I know, and you're fun, and you're fun. You've been on my prayer list. I only have to pray for you once, because the God that I pray to, He don't forget. Oh yeah, Molly Bell wanted me to pray for Dominique. Bless her.
Thank you, Molly Bell.
You sounded good, and I'm just saying that they don't know who Kamala is. They haven't done things with her. In California, I didn't know who Walsh was. Never heard of him in my life. And then the football players came out there. You know, some of them should have probably just bought a new T-shirt, because some of them look like girdles on some of those brothers, those white boys that came on stage. But I'm saying that let her do her thing. James Farr, if you're still listening, I love him. I don't always agree with what he says, but I like that he says it. Some people look at what, I don't know, you could say this after I get off, Kennedy. That man is nuts.
Pretty much.
He already said that he had a worm in his brain, and if you have a worm in your brain and not having surgery, you nuts. You got to get that worm out. You got to get it out. Don't walk around telling me that you have a worm in your brain. And
you want to be president. You got a worm in your brain now. You want to be a cabinet secretary or whatever. Now he's part of Team Trump.
Yes, and Trump is worried. Trump looks bad. I love that. I love that he's getting fat. I love that his face is. This man is a criminal. He's a whoremonger. He is all of that. And we're talking about, Kamala didn't bring up reparations.
She said whoremonger.
Well, that's those words that I used back in the day. But he is. He messes around with whores. He just thinks he could do whatever he wants. And we're talking about a lady who has done so much. And this is the opposite of it. That's wrong. I know I took a little longer than I should have. But I'm just saying that, family, get your joy back. And the first day that he ended his speech, he says, thank you for bringing back the joy. Oprah brought up the joy. And I'm saying that Scripture says, the joy of the Lord is my strength. And so we've got to have strength. We've got to have joy. Now, next week, we could call in with all the complaints that we have to. I was hoping to hear today, to hear people say, I love when you interviewed so-and-so. I love, Dominique, when you did this. But instead, some people want to go different ways. All you prayer warriors out there, you know what you've got to do. You've really got to keep fasting. You really got to keep praying, because the struggle continues every day of our lives. But always, to God be the glory. Thank you, Dominique. Thank you, KBLA. You guys are awesome. Much love. All right, chat room.
Thank you, Molly Bell. It's great to hear from you, and I appreciate your prayer. I think that's probably what kept me standing when I was so tired. I was about to fall over. It was that Molly Bell prayer gave me that one little extra superpower that I needed. And I'm going to steal your phrase. I'm going to start calling him the whoremonger. Whoremonger in chief. Woo! 800-920-1580. That's the number that Molly Bell called. You know, there are a lot of people that make this convention happen. And I just happened to run into some folks from Chicago doing the work behind the scenes. They were so excited. I mean, much has been made about what a burden this was on the city, and you heard me complaining about the logistics, and I stand by those complaints. That was a nightmare. But I got me a bunch of bootleg shirts because, you know, just like here, the bootleg shirts, that's the money that goes directly to the community. And plus they were better than the real DNC swag. And also I met some everyday Chicagoans that were making this thing happen. So meet the chefs. Hey, I just met 2 women who are keeping things together for all these people running around in here at the United Center for the Democratic National Convention. Tell me your name.
My name is Regina.
And you are?
I'm Chef Ronnie.
Chef Ronnie and Regina, you're cooking for all these folks, and you're part of a union. Tell me about that.
It is awesome. By this being my first year, and as an apprentice chef, I'm at the UT program, and I love it. It's phenomenal.
So you're not just a chef, you're a union chef.
That is correct. Yes, ma'am. The apprentice program is about 8 weeks. Normally it takes you about 2 years to become a chef. But with this fast-paced program, Chef Victor is the head chef. Kudos to him, Chef Keith, too. It takes you about 8 weeks. You get all your credential, hospitality, you get everything. So, yes, you safe serve. I love it. You can see it in my face.
I can. And why does being in a union make a difference for you?
See, the union provided us with an outlet to great jobs immediately after we finished the program. So it was a pipeline to their properties that they already had great contracts with. It was the wage, it was the benefits, it was the pension, it was everything we needed to feel comfortable going right out into the field. So right after graduation, we went right into our work environments, doing the externship for 1,000 hours, and then we went to different properties after that. Like right now, I work for the Ritz-Carlton. I'm a chef in banquets.
We going to the Palmer's house. We have a lot of opportunities that's available for each of us. So it is a great opportunity. Actually pay you to study how to cook correctly.
I mean, and also to have the wages and benefits that workers deserve.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
That's the union. And this program is offered free through our union. So you don't have to pay to go to culinary school. You can come to our institute in the McCormick Place and get a free education, and then you get a pipeline right into a great career.
I love that. And of course, McCormick Place, along with this place that we're standing, is sort of the epicenter of the Democratic National Convention. How is that for you? How are you feeling about it?
Like I said, phenomenal. I'm just amazed. I love it. This is my first time, so this is one of a kind experience for me. So yes, it's amazing.
Isn't it kind of seems kind of wild that your first time we might have a black woman nominated?
I know it's gonna make history, and I'm gonna be able to like mark it down. It's gonna make history for me. And shout out to my dad that's in heaven. Today's his birthday, so I know everything is going right for me.
Let's say his name.
Victor Jordan.
Victor Jordan got you cooking.
Yes.
Victor Jordan must be proud of you. Cooking at the Democratic National Convention. What does it mean for you to be here, cooking for the future leaders of the country or the people that are working with them, or just how are you feeling in this moment?
It feels unreal, but it's amazing because I feel like this is what I worked so hard to get to. It's like I feel like I deserve to be here. Like these are the people I'm supposed to be cooking for. Like, and my career in the culinary world is like it brought me this far. I've had a journey. You hear me? I've been through everything, every kitchen. But now I'm at like my peak. I work at one of the most phenomenal hotels in the world, the Ritz-Carlton, and now I'm at the States Convention. It's like amazing. I don't know. I'm full of just so much excitement.
I don't know if you guys want to say anything, but do you want to comment about how you feel about Kamala Harris at the top of the ticket?
I believe that's where she belongs.
I believe that's where she belongs. Absolutely. Go, Kamala Harris. We need her.
For you, girl.
Yes.
We are rooting for you, girl. Thank you so much for your flavors, your cooking, and thank you for doing the interview today.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
It's amazing. Thank you.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
History is being made. LA Civil Rights and the LA City Reparations Advisory Commission is about to unveil a groundbreaking reparations report. Come learn more about the impact of the Black experience in Los Angeles. Join us on Tuesday, August 27th, 5 p.m. at CSUN's Student Union for the official release and panel discussion. For more information, call 213-978-1845 or visit laisforeveryone.com. Again, laisforeveryone.com. Be part of this monumental moment.
Chevy Radio 30 before and after, code GWMR0254000.
With the incredibly spacious 3-row Chevy Traverse, you can change
"Let's just meet at the concert"
into
"Why don't I pick all you guys up on the way?"
The advanced safety engineered Chevy Blazer EV lets you turn "You think we should turn back?" into
full steam ahead.
And with the affordable Equinox EV,
keep an eye out for the next Charger, kids.
Becomes
get comfortable, kids. We'll be home in 4 hours.
For summer adventures, Chevy's got you. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Are you tired of being stuck without internet access? Connect and go with LA County Library. It's simple. Visit your local LA County Library location and borrow a hotspot for free to get Wi-Fi wherever you are. Support comes from Getty, presenting Memnon, a world premiere theatrical event under the stars. Memnon tells the tale of a powerful Ethiopian king who fights alongside Troy during the city's darkest hour. This epic Greek myth has been overlooked for over a millennium. Until now. Memnon is co-produced by the Classical Theater of Harlem. Thursdays through Saturdays this September at the Getty Villa Museum. Tickets are available now at getty.edu.
Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties. Classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
You're gonna feel a puff of air.
Zhang's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
I got a little insider tip for you here on KBLA. You're going to want to keep it locked on the Tavis Smiley Show because he is on one. I just saw him walk in here. He is on one. It's about to be lit on the Tavis Smiley Show. I'm just saying. Anyway, that said, I am not at all surprised that Donald Trump is now trying to weasel his big old way out of the debate.
1967.
With, yeah, okay. Little technical difficulty, glitch. But he's trying to worm his way out of the debate. Speaking of worms in people's brains, Molly Bell. He is saying that he did not agree to a hot mic, or his campaign is saying. It's so weird because really the idea that the candidate's mic should be muted when it's not their turn to speak actually came from the Biden campaign. I'm guessing it's because they didn't want to feel like Biden had the pressure to fact check Trump in real time. But now the Harris campaign is saying they want the mics hot like they normally are in debates. And Trump is using that as an excuse to try to weasel out. Remember, he had already said that it was going to be a biased, it's a biased network. So he wants to go on the Fox network because they're a biased network towards him. He wants to do it with a pitchfork-wielding crowd on the Fox network. But they're using the excuse that they don't want hot mics to try to weasel out of it. And the reason, it makes sense to have a hot mic, and this would mean his mic was open too. Some of the mainstream pundits are saying it's because the campaign doesn't think he can discipline himself. He might call her the N-word or the B-word or something like he normally does when the mics are off, that they're afraid that would happen and that would be bad. I mean, it would get his base stoked, but he might lose one or two voters if he did that. But I believe it's because they don't want to be fact-checked in real time, and because Kamala Harris is a lawyer, a prosecutor, and she's used to dealing with, hostile interactions in a courtroom setting, that she could fact-check him in real time, and they don't want that. Because his Diet Coke-addled brain is not up. His whoremonger is not up to the task of counteracting someone who has the ability to check his lies. That's what I think. In any case, keep it locked. Stay tuned because he is certainly trying to get out of it. He's talking smack on Truth Social about George Stephanopoulos, who he calls Slopadopoulos, even though Stephanopoulos is not one of the moderators of this debate. He called the ABC panel a panel of Trump haters. First of all, so what if they were? But second of all, we know that ABC, NBC, and CBS are very much on that let's pretend that we're objective. And they really go out of their way to not have a bias. In fact, they tend to have a much more mainstream, conservative white America bias, if anything. But no one's asking you to do a debate on KBLA. Actually, that'd be dope. Nobody's asking you to do it. Yes, we are asking you to do a debate on the KBLA. No one's asking you to do a debate on MSNBC. ABC is straight down the middle as far as news organizations go. But no, he wants to be on Fox. And, we know the real reason is he's afraid of Kamala Harris's intellect. So watch this space because we will be tracking it. We will definitely be tracking it, and I'm going to be... I think J.D. Vance is going to be chomping at the bit to debate Walz because he is a Stanford-trained lawyer. Excuse me, Yale. A Yale-trained lawyer. And he probably... And Tim Walz has the reputation for not being a very good debater. But Walz is not trying to back out. He's ready to, take his lumps. And I think Trump, time to take them lumps. I got to go. Tavis Smiley's up next. Let's talk about this on social media. I want KBLA 1580 on all platforms. Please like, follow, and subscribe. If you missed our coverage of the DNC, we were live in the trenches. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts. You can find it on our KBLA YouTube. And you can also summon it up on the app where all of our podcasts live, on the KBLA app for your phone, where you can listen to us wherever you go. Let's chat it up. We are focused and dedicated to getting across the finish line for this race for the next, however many it is. I think it's 71 days or something like that. So I'll be talking with you about that day in, day out, staying on top of the issues. All right, in the meantime, let's connect on social media. And don't forget, tomorrow I'll be at Cal State Northridge, 5 o'clock in the evening, to talk reparations and get the unveiling of the Los Angeles Task Force reparations findings. I'm Dominique DiPrima. History is now, and we are making it together. Tavis Smiley's locked and loaded for you. That's coming up next. Until tomorrow, be informed, do something. One love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Dr. Anthony Fauci, known for his high profile at the recovery after being hospitalized for the West Nile virus. He told CBS News